What I want to do here is show you how to create a sweep. So I'm going to say for the families, new conceptual mass model, mass template. I'm in the 3D view and I'm ready to start drafting. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an ellipse, and I'm going to make sure up here that this thing for placement plane says level 1, level 1. If I click on the intersection point here, I'm doing a long axis, short axis. The dimensions don't matter, I'm just using this as to illustrate a principle. So this is me drawing something that I know I'm planning on using as a sweep path. And now I want to draw a profile, a closed profile that I'm going to send around the sweep path. And my way to do this is to place a point element anywhere on that path. So if I place it, I get a plane that's normal to the path, and you can see this if I actually drag it. You see how it changes, so it's always going to stay normal to the path. And I can draw my closed shape on here. So what I'm going to do is go back to the line command here. I'm picking on the origin of that plane. I'm pointing straight up and saying, well, 3 feet up, and then at 90 degrees I'm saying maybe 6 feet back. And oops, let's do 3 feet up and 6 feet back and 3 feet up, 6 feet back. Just to speed it up, what I'm going to do is just pick a point out here in space. I'm looking for that alignment so that I know I'm on the base of the profile, and then I'm closing the profile by going back to the first point. So I've got my cross section that I want for the stadium here. Now what I do is to get the actual form, I'm holding the control key. You see that little plus sign that appears when I hit the control key. Pick the arc, pick the closed profile, and say create me a form, solid form. And what it does is it sweeps around and makes the 3D form that I wanted to create. Now it might be convenient for you, I'm going to introduce another feature here. It might be convenient for you to select on a form and look at the X-ray option, because that will let you see the sketch that's inside the form that you created. It works with all forms. So if, for example, I were to make a change, what I'm going to do is take the I'm going to hit escape so I'm out of any command. Then I'm going to pick on the vertex, and you see the orange arrows indicate that I can move it in those directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and drag it further out, so it's now sloping to the outside. And then the change is seen immediately in the form. You see, if I grab this, I'll try and make it a bit more visually explicit by changing that vertex location. I'm actually changing the form of my building. So let me select the form again and exit from the X-ray so I can see the finished form. Then I'm ready to continue work with this. So that would be an example of a sweep.